Hi students, let's look at this new concept here, which is the laws of indices. It's not something new per se, but you have actually encountered some form of indices in Sec 1, right? So let's see how we can unpack these laws here. So for the first one, law 1, law of indices. So you have A equals to M times AN. Now what will happen is, now take note, these are the same base, so same base A and A. So what you get is A to the power of M plus N. This is law number 1. Now the reason being is because, let's look at the first part here. So if you're going to apply law number 1, the reason being is because this will be 6 times 6 times 6 times 6, 4 times. Okay. And then after which you have 6 times 6 times 6 times 6, when this is 5 times. Okay, but what happens is when you multiply all of them together, what you're going to get is actually in total you have got 9 times, right? Because 9 times altogether. So this would be 6 to the power of 9. That's the reason why it becomes adding up the power. So to put it simply, the base must be the same. Okay, same base. Very, very important. Sometimes students get confused. So this will be 6, 4 plus 5, which is 9. Okay, so similarly, this is base of A and A. You have got A, 3 plus 4, which is 7. Okay, so that's how you do. So the first law is when you have the same base, you just add the power when being multiplied. Law number 2 is minus. So if it's divided, so M divided by N will be M minus N. So this is similar. So if you were to, okay, maybe I use the one with the unknown here, A7. Okay, A divided by 7 is A to the power 7 divided by A to the power 3 would just be A to the power 7. So this case here, A to the power 7 over A to the power 3, which is actually A times A times A times A times A. And this would multiply with A and A again. Alright. And if you divide by 3a's below, what happens is you realize that actually you cancel away the 3a's. So what is left here, the top initially you have got 7 times, right? This one we got 3 times, right? Because you cancel the one on top, it will be 7 times left with 4 times here. So this will be A7 minus 3. So this is A to the power 4. Okay? So this is important. Just take note of this. And this will be 10. 6 minus 4, which is actually 2. Alright, so it's 10 to the power 2 indices. Okay, great. Yeah, let's look at law number 3. Law number 3 is the MN. So this, when you multiply them, when you bracket it as such, M will multiply with N. So this will happen as such, 2 to the power 5 square. So let's say this case here, the first one, I'm picking this because this is easier. So it's 2, 5 square is actually 2, 5 multiplied with 2, 5. Okay, so this case here, because this is 5 times, this is 5 times. So from law number 1, we know that it is 5 plus 5, which is actually 2, 10. Alright, so it's actually 5 times 2. Okay, so this will be 5, 10. Just take note of that. 5, 10. And this will be 3 times 4, which is A, 12. Okay, so this is 10, and that is my 12. Yep, that's how we do this part here. After which we're going to look at the law 4 and 5. Now, law 1 to 3, they are of the same base. Same base, meaning to say you are looking at the same base. This is important. It has to be the same base. After which we will look at law 4 and 5, which are the different same index. Okay, so same index and same base. Just take note of that. Now, if you have the same index but different base, AM times BM, this n could be factorized out. So, for example, this is -3 and -4. These 2 could be factorized out. Okay, so what you're trying to say is actually, if we have, let me find an easier way, 7 square times 3 times 2 times 3 here. This is actually 7 times 7 times 7 times 2 times 2 times 2, which will also be 7 times 2. If you rearrange it, it will also be something like that, right? Which is 7 times 2 to the power of 3. Okay, so that's the reason why you can just factorize the 3 out. But yeah, just take note of that. I know it could be daunting for the first time doing this, but just keep practicing, you get it, okay? So for the same index is similar. So if you have divided, you could just put a over b here and the power of n above, right? So just take note that a over b to the power of n could be written as an. This could multiply in as well. Multiply in and it will be an and over bn. Okay, so it follows the same process. So for example, if you have 7 to the power of 3 divided by 2, 3, this would be 7 to the power of 3 over 2, 3, which is actually 7 over 2 times 7 over 2 times 7 over 2, which is actually 7 over 2 to the power of 3. Okay, so this and this, they are the same. So in other words, if this is 5, it will be the same. Okay, so this is just an example. Okay, so this is how you understand these concepts here proficiently. We're going to look at how we're going to apply these laws here, which are important laws. And then just keep practicing. Any question or comments, please let us know. Keep practicing and I'll see you in the next question.